Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. As it is a futile experiment to try to straighten the tail of a dog. You cannot straighten the tail of a dog. Let us not waste time on that. So also, we cannot improve Mr. I. This I cannot be improved. This I improvement project is like what? Many people tell us, Swamiji, since I came on this line means what? Spiritual path. Since I came on this line, I have changed. What I have changed? Earlier, I used to eat non-vegetarian every day. Now, I eat alternate days. So, I is becoming spiritual. Then, earlier, I used to fight with my wife every day. Now, she fights with me every day. Improvement. See friends, earlier I used to be a bhogi. Now I is a yogi. Friends, never try this to improve the I. There is only one way. Select, shift, delete I. There is no option. And this is what Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Arjuna. Arjuna's problem was this only. Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhe Dronam Chamadusudana. How can I kill Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya? In the 11th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna very clearly told him, Hey Arjun, everything is already decided. You are merely just an instrument. You take the credit free. See? Nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. But we have this notion that I am doing this thing, I am doing that thing. So two things happen in life. When this I is not taken care of, success leads to arrogance. And failure leads to guilt or frustration. Both these things are the scars on the human mind. And when we are old people will agree with me. If they don't agree, they are telling lies. Old people will agree with me that in the old age there are only two problems. Not the daughter-in-law and son-in-law. They are not problems, they are solutions. So what are the problems? The problems are Kimahagam papam akaravamiti, Kimaham sadhuna karavamiti. Two things. When I was young, why did I do the wrong things that time? I should not have done. See? Every old man is always complaining about the youngsters. See? Swamiji, this knowledge is extremely necessary for the youngsters. We did not have this knowledge. But today the children have, but they don't want to listen to. During your childhood also, this knowledge was available. We were not available to that knowledge. See friends, why shouldn't I study Gita? And second thing, why did I do that thing wrong? I know it was wrong, yet I have done. So the regrets of the wrong commissions and right omissions is one problem. And the second problem is Konyosti Sadrusho Maya, holier than thou. The holy crooks are most dangerous ones. So in this manner, the arrogance of success and the regrets of the failure, these are the two loads we carry on our mind. See friends, the only way to get freedom from this is to delete this Mr. I. And for that, let us try to find out what is this Mr. I who is creating problem. Mr. I is that who wants something. See? One day, one very sincere seeker in Delhi, he came and asked me this question. Very sincere. I know him for last few years. He has never spoken anything about his family. He has never spoken about his profession. He has never spoken about anything in the world except the spiritual questions. So he asked me, Swamiji, when can I have the vision of God? So I told him, forget about God. You reply my question. When do we sleep? In satsang. How simple the answer is. Now why we sleep in satsang? Because of two things. Till such time, I want to sleep. This japa goes on. I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. See, we have closed everything outside. Came back to our room, closed everything, locked ourselves in the jail. And then covered ourselves with a quilt. And then the last mantra, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. Till such time, I and want is there, sleep does not begin. When the I and the want, they disappear, sleep begins with a roar. See. And when we are snoring away, last time I told you, our deep sleep is called as sound sleep, because the sleep which produces sound for the society and sleep for oneself. See? So when we are having sound sleep, that time, two things are obvious. Number one, I is not there. Number two, there is no desire. Net result, we are extremely happy. And therefore, when we come out of the sleep, we want to linger on the bed. Lingering on the bed is like what? Like Gujaratis making amras. See, when they make that amras with the hands all dirty, disgusting, and after that is done, then the fingers, they don't throw it away, wash it away. See? And those seeds of the mango, they are washed. And then they make a bhajita out of it. In the same manner, the deep sleep bliss that we have gone through is still lingering when the sleep is over. And therefore, even after the sleep is over, we want to keep on tossing on the bed just to sucking our own thumbs, During that period of our experience, there was no I, there was no desire, therefore there was only happiness. See friends, all that I am talking to you is only analyze your own experiences and learn from them and grow wise. That's all. I am not giving you mala in your hand. Go and chant it. What I have to do? You chant Om Bhurbu Swaha Tasaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo No Prachodayat. How many times? Nothing much. You can do, let us take 21 mala per day. Booked for the life. See? But then we are also not Kacha Guru Ka Chela. We have this mantra in a SMS format. Initially we start Om Bhurbu Swaha Tasaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Only one. Om Bhurbu Swaha Tasaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbu Swaha Tasaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Na Prachodayat. And ultimately it comes only to the three Vyahutis. Om Bhurbu Om Bhurbu. Lord gets confused. Kya keh raha hai? Friends, I am not giving you that complicated spiritual practice. Simple thing. Analyze your own experiences. See? Then we will come to know all our experiences are at the level of the mind. That which is not included in the mind does not exist for us. See? In one of my lectures somewhere, there was an audience and I was giving lecture. And one girl, maybe about 10 years or so, 12 years, she came, climbed the podium at this dais, and I don't bother who comes and who goes. Anyway, you don't bother for me, why should I bother for you? So I don't care. She came very near to my ears and told Swamiji, there is a spider on your beard. Shall I remove? I said, remove the spider, not the beard, okay? It is not a wig, it is original, don't pull. So she took it and threw it away. Now see, that spider was on my beard, but I did not know it, therefore it did not exist for me. So what is the rule? That which is included in our mind, that alone exists. See. Now if the mind is at peace, our perception will be perfect. If the mind is dull-witted, our perception will be not perfect. And if our mind is disturbed, our perception will be perverted. So, the right kind of experience we can have only if our mind is at peace with itself. A person who is at peace with himself or herself is at peace with the whole world. A very simple rule. A person who is at war with himself, he can never be happy with the world. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita, why we should study? So that we are working on the mind. Don't work on the society. Spare the society. See? So, what is that working on the mind? Working on the mind in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan tells that do not follow the path of extremism. You know, how do we follow the path of extremism? Either we keep on eat. See? Or we observe fast. So much fast we observe that all the time we keep on thinking about food. So instead of the food going in the stomach, it goes in the head. See? So, I don't observe Ekadashi, Shivratri, none of the fast, because I am the follower of Krishna. Nowhere Bhagavan Krishna said, observe fast and shout on others. See? These people who observe fast, they are very cranky brand, you know. Because there is hunger inside and they don't want to eat, you know, like that. Therefore, when people ask me, Swamiji, do you take food on Shivratri or Ekadashi? Tomorrow is Ekadashi. You are going to such and such person's place. So I ask them, who are they? Gujarati and Marwadi? Then I observe fast. If they are non-Gujarati, non-Marwadi, I don't observe fast. Because Gujarati and Marwadis believe in eating only. So Ekadashi means feast. That's why they call it fast food, you know. Instead of suffering because of the hunger, thumb rule I will tell you, keep your stomach full and head empty. Don't think about food. Whatever comes, eat and forget about it. So Bhagavan says, to keep our mind at peace, the path is path of equanimity. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Yogaha dukkhaha bhavati. Yoga becomes the destroyer of miseries. When we are having yuktahara viharasya, we are not following any excesses. Eat little 3 times a day. Normally what we do, breakfast I don't take. Lunch I just take one sandwich and go on driving and eating, you know. One day I was in US and when some cars were passing by, I did namaskar. So my friend asked, Swamiji, whom you are doing namaskar? I said, just now Narayana has gone. He said, what Narayana? I didn't see anybody. I said, didn't you see? Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. The person who was driving, he had a coke in the hand, Shankha. The steering chakra. And then the lever for changing the gear, Gada and Padma. Sakshat Narayana. So I don't take breakfast, I don't take this thing, but when I come home in the evening, 5, 6 o'clock, then I eat for 1 week. Huge quantity. Don't do that. The real spiritual practice is, let there be very good food in front of you. Eat little. You will like it. It's very good. I think I should take, no. And then we are waiting for somebody. Take something more. Okay, for your sake I take a dada. Yuktahara viharasya. Vihara, either we keep on running 20 kilometers and come back, or else we keep on sleeping in one place. No. There has to be a perfect balance in 2 things in life. Number 1, our participation in the world and our withdrawal from the world. In the 5th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna answers Arjuna's question when Arjuna says, O Lord, sometimes you are glorifying the karma and sometimes you are glorifying the withdrawal from karma. What should I do? Bhagavan says, look here, both are essential. See? As much talking is necessary, that much keeping shut is also necessary. But normally what we do, today is my maunam, so whole day I will not talk. Extreme. Then keep a paper and pencil. Give a cup of tea. There is no sugar. These are the cartoons of Maunam. This is not Mauna. Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita very clearly tells what is real Mauna. Real Mauna is, see, Manaprasada Saumyatvam Maunam Atma Vinigraha. When you are ever cheerful and be very attentive and you stop talking to yourself. Try. How much we talk to ourselves. Just one practice you do. Stop talking to yourself. You have learned the whole Bhagavad Gita. Only one thing. Stop talking. Not to talk to others is very easy. But the real challenge is when we stop talking to ourselves. Inside, we are not one. Inside, we are a crowd like a poultry farm. Cock, 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 cock. Non-stop. See? Therefore, Bhagavan says, first of all, take care of your mind by not following excesses in life. Second thing is, mind cannot be controlled. Don't struggle to control the mind. Two things you can do about mind. Number one, mind can be disciplined. Have discipline in life. See, when we get up, what we eat, how much we eat, what we read. Mrs. Kaushik ki 5 bahu. And when these serials are going on, that time you go to somebody's house, they look at you like a dead rat. Oh God. See, friends, all this unwanted stuff, it goes deeper and deeper in our system. See? Therefore, it is necessary for us that what we eat, what we see, what we read, what company we have, all that has impact on our mind. See, friends, take care of mind. Unwanted data should not be fed to the mind and block your memory. All that is unwanted, select, shift, delete. Keep the space free. Unless we are able to recognize this principle, the empty mind, a disciplined mind, is the mind which can be controlled first. So disciplining the mind. When we get up, when we sleep, what we see, what we read, what company, that discipline we have to have on ourselves. The other day somebody asked me where, probably PE or somewhere. Swamiji, we have problem at home. I said, why did you bring it here? Keep it there only. No, we want to share the problem. Look here. I said, okay, what is the problem? Problem is, see, because it is Shravan Mahina, therefore Monday we don't eat egg and meat in the house because it is Shravan Somvar. Then Tuesday Hanumanji was vegetarian, so we don't eat. And then Budhvar there was Santoshi Mata, therefore we cannot eat non-veg and egg. And Thursday Guru Maharaj comes from nowhere. And then our children are complaining, what is this? You don't allow us to eat. So what should we tell them? I said, look here, all your fasts, they are not done for anything else pertaining to body. They are done for controlling your mind. See, whatever we are doing in this world, where is the impact of that action? If you are observing fast for maintenance of your figure, you are not a spiritual seeker. If you are observing the fast for controlling your mind, for disciplining your mind, then you are walking the spiritual path. See? So first thing is disciplining the mind. Our mind is not disciplined and then we want to control the mind. It is something like, we go to some houses and there the parents are like two electric posts standing like Vivekananda, and their useless child comes. They tell, Beta, do namaskar to Swamiji. Now he doesn't want to. No, I know. No, you have to do namaskar. I will not do. And I am standing there in their doorstep with my feet in my hand. Arey Baba, do namaskar, let me get in. See, friends, when the child is not disciplined, you cannot control him. Exactly the same way. Unless the mind is disciplined, we cannot control the mind. So first, disciplining the mind. How to discipline the mind? Only one thing you start, you will get everything subsequently. Begin your day early in the morning. You are nailing the last nail on our coffin. We get up early in the morning at 10 o'clock. We have never seen what is the sunrise like. They say that there is sunrise. Try. That time your mind will not agree with you. But don't listen to the mind. Then you look into the watch. What is the time? Oh, it is 3:48. This is not the round figure. Let us get up at 4 o'clock. Then you go to sleep. Again you get up. It is the 4:12. 4:12. It is not the round figure. Let it become 4:15. Again you go to sleep. Then again it becomes 4:22. 4:22 is not the right time, 4:30. So you go again to sleep, And finally you get up as usual at 10 o'clock and then be attentive. Thereafter, we regret, oh God, today also I could not do it. Net result is, we lose self-confidence. What is the lack of self-confidence? When we are not able to do what we decide. Such a simple thing, if we can't do, what discipline can we have? See, friends, therefore disciplined mind, and second is educated mind. Mind has to be educated. When we educate the mind by study of Bhagavad Gita and by discipline the mind by practice of yoga, upasana, then that mind remains controlled. Now that controlled mind can be applied. That application of a controlled mind in our day-to-day activities is called as yoga by Bhagwan Sri Krishna. He doesn't talk about yoga means twisting the body. He talks about straightening the mind. Normally yoga throughout the world means what? Twist the body. God has given legs to stand, but they will do Shirshasana. See? And all the yoga asanas are all animal asanas. See? Bhujangasana, Ushtrasana, Gardhavasana, Matsyasana. See? There is not a single human asana. No, Swamiji, you don't know anything, you don't know yoga. There is one asana, human asana. What is that? Shavasana. See, friends, that is not yoga according to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Bhagwan Sri Krishna's yoga is tam vidyat dukkha sanyogam viyogam yoga sannidam sa nischena yoktavyaha yogaha anirvinna chetasa. Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga. When the miseries come in our life, we refuse to be miserable. That the ability of refusal to be miserable is called as yoga according to Bhagavad Gita. Now be attentive. You don't have to go to Himalayas to do the sadhana. Because miseries come to you in your own house. See, if you are married, you know the name of the misery. See? So what is the highest spiritual practice for the married people? They should be happy in spite of their husbands and wives. If a husband is happy because the wife is good, what is his contribution? On the contrary, if the wife is a Jwalamukhi, not Chandramukhi. If the wife is Jwalamukhi and yet the husband is at peace, then he is doing the highest spiritual practice. See, friends, it is so simple. Therefore, don't run away from here to there. Wherever you are, that is the right place for us. Arjuna wanted to do this thing. He was placed on the battlefield by the divine will. And he wanted to run away. Running away from the challenges of life is not the way Bhagavad Gita talks about. See, if you want to live, study Bhagavad Gita. If you want to live, study Bhagavad. See? Because Bhagavad tells you how to die. But there also we will fail. See? After 7 days, Parikshit died. See? But after listening to Bhagavad Gita only for 3 hours, Arjuna became charged and fought the war. We should think about how to live and not how to live. Those who have lived happily, they will live also happily. See, friends. Therefore, this mind has to be controlled. And what is the control of the mind? Only one simple thing: be happy. Give it a chance. See, when you are happy, what happens? There was a mother and she was reading some detective novel, James Hadley Chase. And she had a daughter. And the daughter asked, Mom, I was studying in the school, they were talking about something. Is there life after? Darling, don't you understand? Mommy is reading. I'll tell you later, okay? Don't worry. The child is uncomfortable. Again, after 5 minutes, Mom, see, they were asking about, is there life after? Beta, wait a minute. I have another 5 pages, okay? She comes again after 5 pages. Then, Mommy, they were telling, is there life? I know your question. Is there life after death? Yes. Mommy, this is not my question. What is your question? My question is there life after marriage? When you are happy, you are one with God. God is happiness. Don't get carried away. God is love. Love is God. Neither we know love nor we know God. Happiness we know. See, friends, this is the simplest spiritual practice. If somebody asks you by mistake, how are you? Don't take the revenge. See? Therefore, if you want to be really happy in your life, try to follow few thumb rules. Number 1, if you are in the company of old people, never ask them about their health. The moment you ask, they will start such a lively description. Swamiji, when I got up this morning, and then there was such a kind of, I tell you, it started from the ankle and it is such a lively description that you start getting the pain in yourself. Don't do that. Never ask. See, it's such a simple thing. If somebody asks you, how are you? Fire. I am on the top of the world. You see the difference. But that should mean in our words, how are you? Hey, on the top of the world. Not like that. It should mean, see, with this, your mind will remain always in the present. Nobody wants one's death. So is the case of our mind. Mind doesn't want to die. So, the mind keeps on feeding itself. 1, the past memories. 2, the future worries. And 3, the present excitement. These are the carbohydrates, proteins and the fats for the mind's diet. Now try this. Don't talk your past to anybody. Don't ask anybody about their past. Don't try to solve the problems which are non-existent. Because what is a worry? Worry is an attempt to solve the non-existing problems. Suppose the other days in PE they asked this question, or maybe in some retreat. Swamiji, what is your opinion about 2012? See, I say it's a leap year. What more can you talk about it? No, they say the world is going to end. I said, it's good then. If we all go together, we'll have company for each other. See, if you die alone, all your living people will go away for a nice cup of coffee, cappuccino, and then you are all alone there. Ab jaun to jaun kahan? It's better we die all together, go together, continue satsang there also. Don't worry about future. Let us not unnecessarily become excited in the present. When these 3 things are consciously practiced, mind starts dying away and regaining its original status called as pure consciousness. See, every morning we are going for a walk on the seafront, and what always enchanted me on the seaside is this. On the surface of the sea, there are lots and lots of waves. It will keep us tossing up and down. See, I was in Australia, Cairns, and the great reef where they got all the corals. We went there. And after changing the clothes, we jumped. And we are supposed to float and see all the things there. And when we are doing like that, the waves will buffet us up and down, up and down. I got disgusted, I removed everything. And again I jumped into the sea and went deep about 15-20 feet. No wave. That was the highest spiritual experience. If you go deep in yourself, the mind disappears. If you surface and come at the periphery of your personality, there is nothing but the turmoils of thoughts. What we do in sleep, we slowly withdraw from all the periphery of our personality and dive deep in our own being. And what is the depth? The depth is where I disappears. See? When we are consciously able to maintain our mind thus, I free, what happens is, we start leading our life for a time pass. We have no purpose in this world. We have to go nowhere. We have to achieve nothing. We have to do nothing. We are here only for a time pass. See, Bhagavad Gita tells in the 2nd chapter this principle. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. When joy and sorrows are equal, gain and loss is equal, victory and defeat is equal, means what? It makes no difference. If it makes no difference, then what for we are living? Time pass. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked this question. Why do you chant the Lord's name? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was asked this question. He replied in Sanskrit. The same thing I tell you in English. But because it was said in Sanskrit, you will accept. And I tell in English, it becomes a joke. What that great master said, Kalakshepanartham. Kalakshepanartham, Sanskrit to English means for time passartham. Nothing else. And this experiment, you try to do this. This happened in South India. Somebody's house I went. After the nice breakfast, then they took me to their personal temple inside the house. And I sat there and I said, hey, you are doing this japa here? Very good, keep on doing. They said, Swamiji, how do you know we do this japa? I said, don't worry, these are professional secrets, I will not tell you. Then I said, you show me how you do the japa. So that Amma took the mala in the hand and started doing the japa. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. I said, very good. Swamiji, I did hurriedly because, you were sitting here and I don't want to waste your time. Therefore, I was in a fast speed. Very good. This is your niyam, this is your vow. Do it regularly. Don't stop. Now do the second experiment which I tell you. Find out how much time you have at your disposal. Suppose you have 10 minutes. During that 10 minutes, don't bother for the number or the mala. Our chanting of the Lord's name is like taking the Ayurvedic medicine. What is an Ayurvedic medicine, you know? It is so terribly bitter. To protect oneself from the second dose, the patient tells, I am okay. Because that one dose is able to destroy you sufficiently. But when we eat chocolate, do we eat chocolate like the Ayurvedic medicine? No. It lingers on our tongue for hours together. In the same manner, chant Lord's name. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. We are not in a hurry. We have to spend 10 minutes of our life. Not the number, but how much you are able to taste the Rama Nama. It is the rasa. Raso vaisaha. Rasagam hevayam labdva anandi bhavati. Bhagwan's name is Rasapurna. Give it a try and see the experience. Otherwise, we are constantly only in the number. No hurry, we have to go nowhere. Then what for we are chanting the Lord's name? Time pass ho jata hai. Give it a try. See what a difference it will make in your life. Thus, yoga will help us in disciplining the mind, and devotion, bhakti, will help us in educating the mind. When these two things happen, according to Bhagavad Gita, this is what Bhagavan says in path of devotion. What he said? Who is my devotee? Yasmanno dvijate lokaha, lokanno dvijate chayaha, harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi muktaha yas sacha me priyaha. Who is my devotee? He who is not disturbed by anyone, and he who is not a source of disturbance to anyone. He is my devotee. We get disturbed by small little things, and we create a lot of disturbance for everyone. He is not my devotee. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, the devotee is not defined in terms of the makeup. See? Whether the devotee should have different types of facial signs, either full stop or the electric post or the railway lines. Nowhere it is said. See, friends, there are no different malas. Rudraksha mala, Tulasi mala, Spatika mala, Vajanti mala, no mala. See, it is a question of how pure we are in our heart. See, friends. And that purity can come when the mind thinks of the purest. The purest in this world is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. See, friends. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Mayyeva mana adhasva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi Mayi eva, ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Fix your mind on me. Friends, we look at the world, what we take ourselves to be. This is a very important rule to understand. If I take myself to be conditioned by wealth, that I am a poor man. So how I will look upon the world? The world is divided into two types of people, poor and rich. If I consider myself to be an Indian, then the world is divided into Indian, non-Indian. If I consider myself to be Surati, then the world is divided into Surati and Badsurat. See, friends, and if I recognize myself to be the pure consciousness, the world is nothing but pure consciousness. Atma upammena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjuna sukham vayari va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. We look upon the world as we look upon ourselves. And if I consider myself to be miserable, I will look upon the world. Some people are miserable like me and some are lucky like you. No. We have to change our vision about our understanding. It is here we enter the path of knowledge. So far what we have seen, the path of karma is for purification of the mind, so that we are not under the influence of likes and dislikes. Path of yoga is for disciplining the mind and educating the mind. Path of devotion is for discovering the taste of Rama Nama and time pass. See, we want nothing in exchange. We have this funny notion, I have done so much japa, nothing happened. To whom? To the mala. See? Is it in exchange? Bhagwan Darshan is not in exchange of your number of times you chant the Lord's name. See, friends, therefore, when these three paths are working properly on the mind remains at peace, non-sleepy, quiet, alert, vigilant. Such a mind is now employed into the discovery, who am I? Be very attentive. We ask wrong questions and therefore we get wrong answers. What is wrong question? Wrong question is, Swamiji, I don't know why I had to get such a terrible wife, other people get good wife. What is the reason? Wrong question. So wrong answer is given. Look here, don't blame her. You have tortured her in the last life. Therefore, in this life, she has come to take the revenge. Not only that, she is observing Karwa Chauth. So next 7 lives she is not going to leave you. You can't even think about the divorce for the next 7 lives. Oh God, then what should I do? Behave properly with her. Net result is we will stop blaming the world and we will become self-oriented. Now be attentive. When it is said that the joy and sorrows of our life are because of our karma from the earlier life, and because of the good and bad karma in this life, we will have joy and sorrows in the next life. What do we understand? Understanding should be, we existed before this body was born. We will continue to exist after this body drops. And therefore, we are the embodied and not the body. This is the meaning. Instead of understanding this, we are all the time crying about, Swamiji, I don't know what will happen after I die, what will happen to my wife. There was a couple, after 5 years of marriage, the wife asked, honey, the bottle said yes. I can never understand how people call each other honey. Don't they feel sticky? In Canada, there was one girl from UP. Didn't know much English. So when I went there, she asked me, Swamiji, you see, my husband, when he comes, he always calls me honey, and I don't feel comfortable. Why they call like that? And he asked me to call him also honey, and I don't want to call him honey. Two sticky people coming together. So what should I call him? I said, I'll tell you, but don't tell my name, okay? Okay, Swamiji, promise. I said, when he calls you honey, you call him chewing gum. So this couple, after 5 years of marriage, the wife asked the husband, honey, if I die, come on, don't say that, I'll get mad. Please don't say that. No, but I just want to ask, no more this question. Topic over. He will never ask this question again. Okay, another 5 years pass. Again the same question. See, I told you, I will get mad if you say like this. Forget about your dying. Don't say that you will die, what will happen? I will get mad. No, I want to ask you a question. Please reply. Now we are 10 years of marriage. Will you get married after I die? So the husband said, I won't get that mad. He gets married again. Again, another 5 years passed. 15 years. Again, the wife asked the same question. Honey, do you remember I asked you, if I die, will you get married? And what did I tell you? You said, I will not get that mad. I won't marry again. So what do you have to say now? Now I can say, mad person can do anything. Who dies, friends? It is the body. The embodied has never died. If we have really understood the law of karma, if we are really devotee of the Lord, if we are really followed the path of yoga, if we are really working on who am I, the fear of death must disappear. This is what Bhagavad Gita tells us. See, dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuyati. All old people have this problem. When I was a child, Everybody used to come and lift me, hug me, kiss me, cuddle me. But I don't know what happened. When they look at me, they take the old newspaper upside down and read. They don't want to look at me. What happened? I am the same. Friends, nobody has an experience that one is born, one is growing, and one is going to die. Nobody can have this experience. Bodies we have changed, so many of them. Where the childhood body has gone, where the teenage body has gone. But we are the same. Tatha dehantara prapti. In the same manner, when this body drops, who cares? Another body will come. Be attentive. It is here we get confused. What is our confusion? Our confusion is, as many bodies, so many souls. Like as many shoes, so many souls. It is here we have to correct according to Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavan Krishna says in the 13th chapter, 2nd verse. First he says, Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidhiyate etadyo vetitam prahu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. 3 lines. First, this body is the kshetra, the field where we sow the seeds and harvest the crops. All karma is done through the body. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidhiyate. He who knows this, he is the kshetrajna, the knower of the body. Then what is our understanding? As many bodies, so many kshetrajna. It is here Bhagavan says, no, no, no. There is but one reality which is expressing through all the bodies. That is our essential nature. We are not the jiva. We are not the soul. See, friends, so many bulbs. In every bulb there is a light. Is there a separate electricity behind every bulb? See, friends, the multiplicity is in the number of bulbs. Light is one. In the same manner, bodies may be many, life is one. See, the hunger of a rich man, the hunger of a poor man, the hunger of a human being, and hunger of a crocodile. The principle of hunger is common everywhere. See, friends, instead of recognizing this way, we get caught up. That I am the soul, I am most unfortunate, I think, last life I must be there somewhere. Don't get into that. Enough of it. Find out as to who is this, who is expressing through this body. Is it that the glasses are looking at you? No. There are eyes behind the glasses. Is the eyes looking at you? No. There is a mind behind the eyes. Is the mind functioning? No. It is the consciousness which is expressing through the body as the mind. Come to cognize to this. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Electricity says, I am the light in all the bulbs in the world. See, friends, this is what is the ultimate knowledge Bhagavad Gita gives us. Don't get carried away. All the prakriya, the methodology is taken as the final dictum. No. It is only a technique. It is our condition is like the child. The teacher is interested in teaching the child or the children in a class sums. So the children are not interested. So what the teacher does, brings chocolate. And when the chocolates are brought, children are extremely happy. Today we are going to get chocolate. Their attention is on chocolate. And the teacher wants to teach mathematics, sums. So she takes one and say, kids, repeat after me. This is one chocolate. Say, the children say, this is one chocolate. See the emphasis. The teacher emphasized one chocolate. The children understood one chocolate. In the same manner, scriptures talk about that one reality pulsating through the many, and we understand many is the reality. See, where is our focus? See, one child was asked in the class, after the class was taught, now you tell. Suppose your friend gives you 2 chocolates and I give you 2 chocolates. So 2 your friend has given, 2 I have given. How many chocolates you will have? So the student says, 5. No man, again, try. I have given you 2 chocolates, your friend has given you 2 chocolates. How many chocolates you will have? The student is cool, 5. How come 5? There is one already in my pocket. He is not interested in your mathematics, he is interested in the chocolates. See, friends, we are not interested in Krishna. We are interested in this wretched world of relative existence. Rise above this. This world has always been like this. We are here only to be a counter to allow Him to express through us. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. We are here to be a fit instrument so that the divine can choose us to express through us. And what will be the best instrument? That instrument which is not tired, which is not occupied, which is free, and which is completely available. See, friends, our hands are busy for selfishness, our tongue is busy for paraninda, our mind is busy for all the frustration, our intellect is busy in planning how to destroy others, and then we come before Bhagwan. You have seen all of them, how they are standing in this mudra. What does it mean, do you know? He says by the left, it is not a Abhaya mudra. He says, enough. Kitna mangoge? You know. And with this, he give one. See, friends. Take the Lord as the ultimate which is expressing through us. See? This is why all the spiritual practice Bhagwan Krishna told Arjuna is to correct your identity crisis. Therefore he asked, Kachideta Shrutam Partha Tvaya Ekagrena Chetasa Kachid Ajnana Sammoha Pranashtaste Dhananjaya. Hey Arjun, are you through your all confusion? Could you get your wits back? And what Arjuna says? Nashto mohaha smritihi labdha tat prasadat maya chuta stitosmi gata sandehaha karishye vachanam tava. O Lord, all my confusion gone, all my wits are gathered, and I am confident now. See, I shall follow your instructions. We study Gita, and what is our conclusion? When Bhagwan asked us, Arjuna said, नष्टो मोहः स्मृति लब्धा. What we say? नष्टा स्मृति मोह लब्धः. तत्प्रसादात् मयाच्युत स्थितोस्मि गत संदेहः. No, गतोस्मि स्थित संदेहः. I became more confused. See, friends, come to discover this one reality which is expressing through us. It is for this purpose we have to study Bhagavad Gita. Study and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.